Hey kiddos, this is Mrs. Rowley with a quick tutorial over Workplace 7D, Fair Shares. Now, unlike most of our workplaces that are digital, this is not a digital workplace. This workplace was delivered to you with the last math delivery that I did, which was several weeks ago. You're looking for a set of papers that are in sheet protectors, and it says Workplace Instructions 7D Fair Shares. So I'm going to go over the directions and then show you how to play the game. Students choose one of the double-sided fair share record sheets. Students also need a half sheet of paper cookies, scissors, and a glue stick. And all of this are going to be in your sheet protectors. These pieces here are behind the instructions. Students solve the problems on both sides of the sheet. They label each ant's share with whole numbers, mixed numbers, or a fraction as necessary. When students have finished both sides of the sheet, they describe at least one number pattern they notice as they shared more and more cookies among the same number of ants. Now, you'll notice in the packet that I gave you that there are multiple sheets. You can choose either the 2-ant recording sheet, the 3-ant recording sheet, or the 4-ant recording sheet, whatever you're comfortable with. I'm going to start with the 4-ant record sheet because I think that these can get more challenging the higher number of ants that you have. All right, so number 1 says, what happens when 4 ants share one cookie? So you'll see I have all of my cookies cut out, which you'll want to do. And I'm thinking about one cookie. How do each one of these ants share this one cookie? Well, I'm kind of looking at my pieces, thinking about how would they be able to share one cookie? And you know what? I think this is going to get the job done. I see that there are 4 pieces to this one cookie. So I'm going to trim it up. That's just who I am as a human. And I'm going to cut it out. And then I'm going to give each ant one little piece of cookie. When I get to the place that I'm pretty happy that each ant has a fair share, I'm going to glue it down. I'm also going to glue down this cookie here just to show what I started with. So I'm going to take my glue stick. And I'm going to glue that down. And then I'll glue these pieces down. You can color them if you'd like. I think if I were you, I would color them. And in my demo, I'm not. Okay, so there's my first one. What happens when 4 ants share one cookie? They each get 1/4. And I'm going to write that down. That was part of the original directions to write down what they got. It said label each ant's share with whole numbers, mixed numbers, or fractions. Well, I don't have any whole numbers. So each ant's share is 1/4, 1/4, 1/4, and 1/4. And if you're feeling clever, and you want to extend your understanding of fractions, you could make this into an equation. If I have 1/4 plus 1/4 plus 1/4 plus 1/4, that gives me 1 whole cookie. All right, so now what happens when 4 ants share 2 cookies? So the 2 cookies are like this. And this is a little bit trickier, right? Because we're not thinking about 1 cookie anymore. We're thinking about 2 cookies. But I can lean into my understanding with the 1 cookie. And I know that with 1 cookie, they're each going to get 1/4 or 1/4. So I'm going to think about this cookie first. And just want to make sure I have the right pieces. It doesn't look like I do. That's okay, though. I guess I'll swap these out. They'll get 2 different types of cookies. All right, so I know that this cookie is going to end up like this, right? Because I've already done this work. So I can do that. I can copy that all over again and give each of these guys a piece of that first cookie. Ching. And then I'm thinking about this cookie. I want to do the exact same thing. I think as we start to deal with fractions, I think it's really the easiest thing is to take each whole and break it into the appropriate amount. But watch when I do this. So right now we're thinking about, well, this guy got a fourth and 1/4 more. Oh, he's sticking. And that looks like this. And then all of a sudden, it's a different fraction. So I'm going to get these glued down, and then we're going to talk about that for just a second. Okay, I glued all these pieces. I didn't think you really wanted to watch me struggle with a glue stick, but I'll glue the last piece with you so we can get a really good understanding of what's going on with our cookies. That should be equal shares, right? So what we have here is we have 2 cookies, and we've broken the first cookie into 1/4 and distributed it, and then we took the second cookie, we broke it into 4ths and distributed it. So this is 1/4, and this is 1/4, and this is 1/4, and this is 1/4. Say it with me. And this is 1/4, and this is 1/4, and this is 1/4, and this is 1/4. And if we added all these together, it would give us 2. Now, here's the fun part. This could also be named something else. And I'm looking at this piece right here. Do you see how this half a cookie is the same as this right here? Well, that's because it is. Because not only, if you add all of these together, not only do they equal 2 cookies, but 1/4 plus 1/4 is the same as 1/2, and you can see that with this cookie if I like smushed them together better, right? So then you could start to think about, well, 1/2 plus 1/2 plus 1/2 plus 1/2. That also equals 2. Isn't that interesting? There are some patterns here. You know I love patterns in math, and there are some patterns to be seen here. All right, and then this really tricky one. What happens when 4 ants share 3 cookies? So I'll put my 3 cookies out, and let's see what I have left. I don't know if I have to bust into my other sheet. Oh, here's another whole cookie. All right, and there are only 3 cookies, so how am I going to get these guys to share these 3 cookies equally? Well, I wonder if you can take what we learned in this one here and this one here and apply it to this one here. All right, so once you're done playing this game, remember all you need to do is have your cookie glued and your pieces, and then name the pieces. If you want to create the equation, that's like a higher level of thinking. So you can create the equation, or you don't have to create the equation. That can get a little tricky. And if you get to another place where you have made connections about the pieces, you can go ahead and talk about and show me those connections that you've made about different pieces, like the fact that 1/4 and 1/4 is 1/2. And so with that information, I can make a new equation. You don't have to do that, but if you see them and if you see those patterns and you're comfortable with those patterns, by all means, go to it. So in this situation, each ant got 1/4. In this situation, they got 1/4 plus 1/4, or 2/4, or 1/2. It's all the same thing. It's all the same thing. And then down here, you'll continue on with your challenge. Now, don't forget that there is a back page to whatever you decide to choose, all right? It is, again, you can choose to work with 2 ants. You can choose to work with, 3 ants, or you can choose to work with 4 ants. Pick what you're comfortable with and play this game. It's a really fun game. All right, good luck. I can't wait to see your work.